What is up? This is Joshua Casper. Welcome to another Ableton Live video tutorial. This one's on using fade to gray as a way to fade in some vocals, so there's not just kind of dead vocal space in front of when the vocals come in. So this is I'm going to go ahead and upload this project file as is, and then after you download it, just delete the parts that I delete. But this is what we're going to be making. So as you can see, it's kind of like a dubsteppy type, the beginning of a dubsteppy type remix of We Found Love. What this tutorial is going to focus on is just this part here, the effects lead in into the vocal. So once you've downloaded the project file, links below, go ahead and click this part, delete the effects inside, and also open this up and just kind of pull it over like that. So that's where you would normally start once you sunk up the vocals and you've got some bass going and stuff like that. And these are just mix downs from Massive and some effects from Massive and stuff like that. Nothing too serious, but that's not what the tutorial's on, so let's just continue. First thing you want to do is come in to where the first kind of part, first couple of words of your vocals, and come in and turn the grid size down. And I'm just going to use this whole section right here. And I'm going to copy it, Control C, and I'm going to paste it right here. Now, one thing that you need to know is, or one thing that I do, is I put it on a separate track because we're going to be using fade to gray, and fade to gray is I'm going to let the effect roll out while the vocal starts. If you leave it on the same track as the vocal, then you either need to cut the fade to gray abruptly or have it kind of go when you want some clean vocal action. So we don't want to do that. So let's just go ahead and copy this and come out a little bit. Come over here, turn the grid back on so I can see. Paste. Oh. Copy. Paste, and I'm just going to duplicate it across. And once I've duplicated that much, I can just duplicate that much. So this is what we have so far. And make sure you notice, by the way, that my volume is considerably lower here. So that's all it is right now. So what we're going to do is take, first thing is fade to gray. Come up to it. Where is it? Where is it? Fade to gray, drop it on there, and I'm just going to click on this rotary knob so it comes up on my automation line, and I'm going to pull it up to about, I don't know, 80% here, and then I'm going to pull over to 170% here. Let's see what that sounds like. So that's pretty cool, but I think it comes in kind of strong here, and I want it to be a build-up. So the next thing I would do is come over to the utility, drop that on here, click the rotary knob to get the automation line, double-click here to make sure it's at 0 dB, and pull this down a little bit. So that way it fades in more over time, and the effect becomes less, or it gets less wet, so you can hear kind of what the vocal is more and more over time until we come into the vocal. So let's see what that sounds like now. So that's pretty cool. And I'm going to go ahead and just chop this last one off and just leave this open, so it's just the effect kind of fading off, and so it's not too, man, that screen recording program takes a lot of my CPUs. Sorry about the glitchiness there. But anyway, so what I've done is just cut off that last kind of section there, that part of the loop. The utilities, that's fine, -2.1, that's fine. And then the last thing I kind of did was I kind of duplicated this part. So control, and I put it here, and I put it here, and then if you come in and drag these over, you get that first kind of part. And then I double click here, pull this down a little bit, double click here, and pull it down even more. And then that kind of gives it the effect of an automation line. So let's go ahead and listen to what we've done so far, and I'm pretty sure that's it. But let's go ahead and listen. So that's pretty much it. I would play around with it more to get it better. Maybe take the fade to gray down a little bit more so it's more clear what this loop is instead of just kind of in a weird kind of effect. But I particularly like this part because she says with the actual bass. Well, so that's cool. But anyway, that's just an idea for a way to lead a vocal in instead of having just synthesized effects in front of it, like a white noise buildup or anything like that. My next tutorial is going to be on the reverse lead-in effect. Prime Loops covered it before, but I'm going to do it again for a friend. So I hope that helped. Go download the file, rate, subscribe, comment. You know what it is. Peace.